and welcome. Welcome to the infinite way where spirituality meets humanity. Today, we explore the hidden patterns of the universe and the timeless wisdom of sacred geometry. I am so honored to introduce our guest, Oritsereneye Henry Wilkinson-Okotie, a pioneering researcher and educator in fractal geometry and ancient mathematical systems. As the author of Introduction to Fractal Geometry and co-author of The Prehistoric Foundation for an Inherently Nonlinear Euclidean System and Vector Algebras, he has dedicated decades to uncovering the deeper connections between mathematics, sacred art, architecture, and law. His work with the Practice Science Institute in Houston and the International Center for Study of Irrational Numbers has empowered students worldwide to engage with the Quadrivium, sacred science, art, architecture, and law through a holistic lens. Born and educated in Nigeria, his academic journey began in Ethiopia primary school and continued through St. Peter's Clava College and Okchi Polytechnic. He later earned a summa cum laude degree in accounting from Grambling State University before advancing his studies at Texas Southern University's Graduate School of Business Administration. His passion for mathematics and sacred geometry led him to postgraduate research at the Practical Science Institute in Houston, Texas, where he explored nonlinear arithmetic and lectured nationwide. Join us as we dive into the mysteries of sacred geometry and its role in our collective awakening. Get ready for an enlightening conversation with the true visionary. Welcome so much.
You are very welcome, sister.
I'm so excited to have you on, and I love the way that you present geometry. I've had the great fortune of being able to see some of your videos and lectures on how to start with the sacred flower of life. And the first thing that came to mind was, how did you get inspired with mathematics? And especially me, because I was a math major and I got my bachelor's in mathematics at the University of Massachusetts, and I love math. So what inspired you to go towards mathematics?
I guess this, just recently I found out that if we are to understand or have even an understanding of what spirituality is, initially, what we all need to do first and foremost is to go through the science of mathematics. So, I find myself here. So now I'm following that same trail. So it will be because I want to dive into the spirituality of the self.
And what you're saying is really powerful. And I'm going to break it down because I understand what you're saying, but not everybody listening is going to understand. So I hear it on multiple levels. First and foremost, mathematics is the universal language of the world. No matter what anyone speaks in terms of language, no matter what culture they were brought up in, they're going to understand the language of mathematics. And then in my deep dive in understanding mathematics was born of consciousness. So when we talk about deep diving into consciousness, and we talk about the various different spiritualities and doctrines that embrace consciousness, they all have mathematical coding. I think of the Kabbalah with gematria. They all have numbers applied to the verbiage or the words that share with you a completely behind the scenes system of how mathematics expresses that consciousness, that layer of understanding. It's almost like mathematics is the map of consciousness. It shares so much with us. If you can not just see the numbers, but dive into the numbers, allow the numbers to define you. And do you think I'm off base on this? What would you say?
Well, you see, you are doing the analysis now, and that is very interesting, to find someone that can do analysis like that. And what I'll say to that, then we'll have to decode or decipher the, true synthesis of, of the analysis.
Okay. Okay. So take us through your protocol. How would you approach that? Take us as a student interested in mathematics and how it layers to each one of the steps that you perceive.
Okay. I stumbled, first and foremost, I stumbled, into a master teacher, his name is, I still call him his name. His name is Bob Powell Sr. of the Practical Science Institute in Houston. In 1990 December, through a common friend. And, when I met with him, it's just been, let's go, let's get the game going on. Opportunity for us to have the self, reciprocal issues. That's, I am to you like what you are to me. And when we started this program, he has the same, by the way, they came up with a book not too long ago, what called The Rest of Euclid. This was after long research that we had with them, with some of my other companions like Vandon Hernert in Greensboro, North Carolina. And there's these 12 pages that we have been of almost all of us. It's just like, there's just something about, how, to reproduce this or produce these shapes, shapes that happens to be numbers also. So we have this 12 pages curriculum, and we usually call it the 12 pages curriculum in the geometry. And at this time, we didn't even know there was a name for what we were doing. Down the line, we found out there are names like sacred geometry, fractal geometry, visual numbers, and all kinds of names related to what we are doing here. Yeah. But I think this is a blessing to the scientific world of the, in the sense that, I saw your program earlier on, I read something about in your program where spirituality meets with humanity, and so there are relationship between spirituality and humanity, which will come out in the vesical process as we go along. So there are 12 pages, like I said. What we do will be systematically lay the process of these 12 pages, starting with a blank sheet of paper, which is page 1, and then up to page 12, which is constructing a regular polygon on that same blank sheet, that is divided into 12 parts. And, the process, this is what I want to say, from pages 1 through 4, what happens, to us is the the intuition in this process becomes a guide and governor to our intellect, and of course the other psychomotive activities that we get involved in. So a page one, I don't know how we'll go. A page one will be a blank sheet of paper, and a page, and like I said, we can use this. Let's say page two. We'll go. I'll demonstrate that. Yeah, bring me some of this stuff. Okay. From it, I took a blank sheet of paper like this, and I decided to fold it into 4 parts. And then when I open it, I labeled page one.
Yeah.
This one, page one. And that's assuming we're going, then systematically we go to the page two. On page two, we reproduce a page one, which is a blank sheet. And then we have 2 points. You can see what I did there. Just 2 points. So if we talk about even if we want to do analysis, what are 2 things to you? You are in Angola. I'm in Nigeria. You are in Luanda. I'm in Benin City. This first 2. This also can be anything, like I'm saying. This can be spirituality. This can be humanity. This can be the physical. This can be, what is that? This can be the mental. So we finish on this one here. Then we come back here on page 3. This is page 2. On page 3, we reproduce a page 2, which will be this 2.
Thank you.
So if you notice, and this I just did this earlier on, I thought I would continue at page 2 on this will be page 3, but you will only have these 2 points there, this right. Point and this point. So you center your compass at this point, all this one. You center your compass at this very point here, and that's going through the second point. That will enable us to construct this very circle. And I should be able to, now that we're doing this, I'm now finding out some of the defects. So some kind of a marker that will enable you see this circle properly. And yeah. Then we go over here to the second point, going through the first point, we construct another circle. And that will give us 2 circles that share a common radius. So yeah. Give me an example of what you consider as the first point. For you, what would be the first point? We can work it. Is it? I suggested earlier on. This is Angola. For me, this will be Nigeria, and this will be, the 2 circles, they share a common. This area is what we call the vertical Pisces. And so we still have this area, even if we say this is light and this is darkness, so this area by itself will be light, this area by itself will be darkness, and here will be maybe the gray area between light and darkness. Then we move on to go on to this next page. Again, you remember we've done, every time we come back to nothingness, we start from nothingness. So
right.
Then we have those first 2 points. Again, we center our compass at this point, going through this point. We construct the first circle. Then we go to the second point, going through the first point. We construct the second point. And then, these 2 circles, they have 2 crossings, one above and one below. And then we don't change it, at the crossing above, that, then we center our compass there again, and we construct another one. And that will be the 3rd circle. So automatically, at this stage here, we have like 7 areas. That's where people, we have the first area here, assuming we use the color, and I was going to prepare to do all that here earlier, you know. Assuming we say this is blue, this is red, so I just want to try the primary, and we say the third circle is blue. So we'll notice that this space here will become orange, and here will become green. This is the relationship between blue and yellow, and of course this will be purple or violet. I don't know whether we'll see that. And then this in between spaces here will be what is the color red, blue, and yellow. That we can practicalize when we do that, you know, at this stage. Then if you notice now, that's on page 5. Are you going? We'll give this another try. This thing, we're going to continue now. This is the page 5. Well, we're really mixing this together. The first 2 points again.
Yeah.
Center your compass going through here, we'll construct this circle. Center your compass here at this point, and we can give names to these points. We can call this A, B, and then, of course, these 2 crossings gives us this point C that enables us to do that. And then at the bottom crossing, it would be D, you know, and so we have these so-called diagrams now, just, you know, unfolding, you know. Then we go to a page 6. So we reproduce a page 5, which is AB, which will be A, B, C, D. And there's a crossing, and then we put in the circles. There's a crossing here where between B, circle B, and circle C at this point here. There's a crossing here between circle A and circle C, and we could call this one E, and this one F, and here G, H. So this is this is like a Marshall technique where you are covered, you know, on both sides. Then we move on to we move on to the 7th page. The 7th page we reproduce the first, the page 5 again. A, we call this one A, B this time, C, D. And, you know, and then we have, this is actually what the seed of life is then. The crosses between C and A, we put a circle there. Then between, B, you know, D and A, we put another one. Where these 2, this crossing, which here we call, we just didn't call this now, but from the previous stuff, we call this an E. And this one is a G. And so we can call this one an H where they cross. So now the first unit circle is now surrounded by 6 others. This is the seed of life pattern, you know, usually, or what they call the seed of life. So from the first page, which is nothing, which is blank, nothing, can have another name for it, we can say void, to the 8th page, again, is nothing. The first page don't have anything. The 8th page don't have anything. But what has been the experience? The experience is that we have had crossings of circles and circles, and these circles here, they represent actually the feminine archetypes, you know. And if you notice here, we have not introduce words like lines or so until this stage here, where we have to have certain reflections of what these first 8 pages means to us in terms of meaning. And then we can now move on to say a page 9, where we invoke some of these. Now, you know, on a page 9, I want to actually see whether we can use that as an example of what we can do using another person, or I would go with that. So on page 9, I'm using another person, a third party, to do the construction. Like,
Yeah.
like what we, so on the 2 points, so the first point, you can't see that too well. Can you see that? Can she see that?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a page, that is that again is a page, we're trying to, page 3 is going to, page 1 was blank, page 2,
Yeah.
you see the same, page 2 is these 2 points, page 3, center your compass over here, then going through there, you constructed a circle. Then now, center your compass at this other point, going through the first one, go on, and you construct, or it's like having a phobia. I say you're on in the Zoom, yeah. So one of the key things that I want, there are 2 crossings here, and I think down the line, this is one of the things we're going to have to do properly, where we can give the best technology to do this from an instructional perspective, maybe instructional television or instructional lecture. So over here, you put another one. This is like, now this is a page, by the time it does this 4th circle, this is, and you are ready to say some things. I didn't go back here, but okay, leave that one out. Take this, draw a line segment. Now we want to include the line now to have a balance from this point to this point, then extend it to this point. Yes, from this line to this line, yeah. Extend it.
Excellent.
Extend it to this point. Yeah. Yes, to the circle there. Right there. Then extend it to this point. So the goal here, for example, and this is what I'm going back, what we have done here, this line segment, AB is a divides, this is the line segment that divides above from below.
Yeah.
So anything we do above here, we can reproduce it there. I think one of the laws, speaks about as above, so below, and we'll go back into that. Then this line segment here, from this point, and I'm using the word this point and this point, but in the book we have labeled them like CD, go on, read, all the way, from there all the way. The law says if we have 2 points, we can draw a line segment from one point to the other and extend it like to this point and yet this point. So what happens here is that what we normally call 1, what we call from this point to this point, usually we call 1. So what we have done here, from this diagram here, this line segment, which we call, let me put CD here. The line segment CD divides the line segment AB into 2 at this point. So if this is, but we took a position, that's what will become the assertion that from A to B is square root of 1.
Correct.
From AB is square, that's what we, our position in terms of some precision down the line. So this point here will be like half, we know. So we take the compass, take this compass, take this, the radius AB. And then we center it, we center it at the point C. And we construct a circle above and also below.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just doing this now. where the, it might be, I think that where the, we call this one the enabling circle. Enabling circle, where the enabling circle crosses the CD line, we take that point, and we bring that point from this point to the A point, the first. Wow, this is so good. It's just to the first point there, and then we construct another circle.
Okay.
So construct the circle. Construct this circle. Bring it out there. This circle that we are constructing, for example, this circle above.
Yes.
It's the same where at this point also we do below, but I'm more interested in it's a regular polygon that is divided. What happened? I'll extend this CD line. I'll just do the up to the circle above there. You see that, and we extend it, and that will be 1 point. We already have this point. We have this point. We call this AB. So from A to C, we extend it to there. We have this point. So
yes.
we have, this is 1.2. This is like an enneagram. For example, we use this for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we do the connection. So what is really going on here? The intuition, while we are doing this, the intuition becomes the guide, like I say, and governor to the intellect and the psychomotives of all the other things we do. But what is really the main implication of these square root numbers that we are working on? This will be, by the time we connect all of this, will be a form of Mandela. For example, the radius of this circle that is divided into 9 parts, the radius will be in an irrational number. We know, like from here, one part of this AB is it's square root of 1. So this half of it will be half. It will be half the square root of half over 2. We want to not over 2 square. We're trying to look for the radius. I'm just going back to some. The radius of this, for example, will be this distance here, which is half square root of, well, I'll have to set it up as a Pythagorean theorem. I don't know. I have to set it up as a Pythagorean theorem. Can you see this drawing here?
Yeah.
From here to here will be half. This vertical here is square root of 3. So what we are looking for now, we'll call this O. AO square plus OC9 square. Sometimes we could call this B, and this is just A square plus B square will be equal to C square, which will be the hypotenuse of hypotenuse of where did this thing of this triangle that goes from here to here to here. Now we know this side here is half square root of 1, half square root of 1 plus square root of 3 over 2 half. So when we take these ones come over out of here, this one here will be half square root of 2. If we take the square out, this will be 1 over 4 plus we take this the square out of this one here will give us, half here plus 3/4, which will be 2, this will be equal to the hypotenuse, which is c squared. So c squared, c therefore will be the square root of this one half plus 1/2 plus square root of 3/4. And then we continue, see the type of sweat. We do all these connections, like if you want to look at the form of the enneagram, that is, we have to look at how, where we go from 9 to 3, 3 to 6.
Yes.
And 6 to 9. This will give us, that's a 369, popular 369. Will give us an equilateral triangle. And
yes.
Then if we go from 1 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 8, 8 back to 5, 5 to 7, 7 back to 1, will give us an hexad. And that enneagram will become a relationship between an hexad and an equilateral triangle. Yes, ma'am.
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful pattern, and it's repeating and repeating. So the fractalization of it also.
That is the key, and that is the key, and what I've been looking into. These programs that are this repetition is what it's what the fractal is all about. And if we look at the universal consciousness, to our own, then we can see how we are a fractal of God with the capital letter, and why we are also a God with the small, so to speak, with the small letter G. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes.
Where is it? Okay, can you see me now?
Yes, I can. How wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that work for the 12 steps and the 12 pages, which is very, very key. And as we understand how as above, so below, it repeats and repeats in the same respect, so does everything in nature. So does we as human beings ourselves repeat, creating the same man or woman each time. When the universe repeats like this in its expansiveness, how do we relate this back to spirituality? How does this understanding lay the foundation to what we understand about spirituality?
Okay, what a beautiful question. In the traditional, Yoruba spirituality, that we call Ifa, there's this concept of Ori, and on a temporary, that guides our physical activities, and to the spiritual Ori that has a connection to the source. That's to the source. And it's our understanding that as we are connected through our spiritual Ori to what we call the source, what we call God, so we are now able to have an understanding in terms of that connection that, that relates to the spiritual ori which we have to that source. So that guides us all the time and let us have that understanding that that is directly to the source, while simultaneously we have the one that guides us on the physical plane. And by we having an understanding of these two, then we begin to discern things that we want to do through maybe a reflexive meditation, so to speak, by you asking questions like who you are, who am I, where am I, why am I here, and things like that. This would be during complete, when you are having some competitions. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So I know that you drew that beautiful, beautiful pattern in two-dimensional. How do we experience it in three-dimensional? Because even though you're drawing a two-dimensional figure, it is not two-dimensional. It is multiple dimensions.
Yes, it's beyond that. Yes, Well, the experience will be one of the things I say will be in the doing,
You're right.
That's it will be in the doing, because don't forget, right now we started off this program with nothingness, nothing, and gradually it's like the experience of it will be a form of self-talking for well, get time to listen to yourself, so you can seek and speak the truth to yourself in the process.
And I think what you're saying is so important, because I remember studying with one of my grandmother elders, and the one thing she asked me is, why do you like sacred geometry so much? And I'm expressing, I love the dimensionality of it. I love that it has multiple symbols embedded, and geometric symbols embedded within them. And she's like, so you love it so much. Where's the art? Where have you drawn it? Where have you actually sat down and played with this? And I was like, you're right. And that's what got me started drawing it. She said, how can you have a love for something that you've never experienced? And in experiencing drawing it, in experiencing constructing it, is the dimensionality, getting lost in those line segments, in those circles, and understanding that one embedded in the other, and how that can expand itself and express itself and show itself above and below, and then repeat itself. You are, and you see what I was saying to you, and I'm just looking at this process where you will go more into further drawings, some very complex drawings, from simple, and we move into this, complexity, and then each crossings, for example, in some other drawings, for example, me and you, we are talking now, but we are two people on a linear system, but if we go around, for example, and say, by the time we look at it on the rational number, we'll find out that we are two. But if we look like the least square root, if we use the least square root to deal with this, we'll find out that square root of 4 is also 2. So where are the other? Yeah. Where will the other two numbers be? Then you begin to find out, say, is the methodology of counting. This counting method, now we are using square root number. And so if we use square root numbers, I will have to go from my point, square root of 1 first, and then I'll go to square root of 2, square root of 3, and by the time I get to square root of 4, with the least square root to get to you, which is 2, and so on and so forth. But right now, no digital computing, no digital machine
can compute precisely. They take it to the least level, the square root numbers precisely. Yeah, what we have done now, we'll be able to, like that one, that distance of AB, we'll be able to break it down. Like I can show you another thing quickly so we can see. So in this diagram, for example, can you see that now? From here, bring it down. So you see, this is we take this as the first, let's take this one, come, center here. We take this as the first point. I'm just taking to this point here. These are 2 points. But you find out that through certain crossings, we'll be able to draw this green line 1 onto here. We draw another one 2, we draw another one 3, and we draw another one 4. So we'll be able to bisect this from here to here will be 1 over 4 of this, because we'll be able to divide here into 4. So what we are saying here now is we are having something like between here and here, and what we have here, we'll be able to divide, we'll be able to split this 1 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So and so we can pick 1 here and we say 1 over 8 square root of 1. This number cannot be, computed precisely now. So what we need now is to develop more programmers that can use these algorithms that we have now to set the new softwares, wetwares, for that we have, tagged fractal computing, moving away from the analog to digital. It's still digital, but this will be moving towards the fractal digital, computing. And hopefully we might set something going where in our lifetime, of course, we might be able to do some of these softwares to help financial industries, those that are in spirituality, anything that you think you can speak about, we might be able to put them in forms, of lines and circles, and so we can discern them. Yes, ma'am.
I am so grateful for the time that you've shared with us. And, I know we're coming up on an hour. I would love if you could share any words of wisdoms for those aspiring mathematicians, those aspiring geometers that are coming up behind you, and what would you share with them?
Well, people say that, and these weddings, I wish I can say something more than, they must know, they must be still and know, first and foremost, that they are God, the G for generator, the O for operator, they must know, and the D for the destroyer. O, the brain, generator, brain. O, the expansion of the love chakra, for our soul, and D, the sacrum, kundalini for the destroyer. They must know first and foremost that they are the generators, the operators, and the destroyer. And once they be still and know, like the scriptures, some of the scriptures say that they are, spiritual beings having some physical experience, and just, knowing that alone and be still, there'll be certain revelations for you as you observe and watch, because we are here, and this year is boundless, and it allows all the stuff we are now doing to come and go, so that would be what I would say to anyone that is coming up that even care to listen to what we got to say. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so
And
much.
the result is in the doing. It's in the doing. Yeah.
In the doing. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Oritsereneye, thank you so, so much. Thank you for your
You're
contribution. Thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
education. And I'm so grateful to know you and call you friend and just have this opportunity to share and to listen and to learn. So thank
We
you
will
again.
Wonderful, wonderful. We will see how we can work that out, Thank you.
Yeah.
One love.
So,
Ashe.
thank you.
Peace.
Okay. And take
Well
care.
done. Yes. Wonderful.
All right.
Love.
And this, if you liked what you saw, please subscribe. If you know that this can help somebody, please, please, please do share this episode. Do not be afraid of math, especially geometry. So share this information and know that we all are capable of expressing. Yes.
And we are available to take a group of people with the proper planning so we can have some more profound experiences. Ashe.
And do you have a contact where people can reach you?
Yes, my email address will be fine. I'll find the scope for you, which is fractal innovations you have that one at yahoo.com. And
okay, and I'll make sure that it's listed below in the description. Yes. Fractalinnovations at yahoo.com. Okay.
Thank you again.
Everybody.
One love, And Van Don is ready for you. He will do more expansive stuff, especially from the art. Yes, it's ready for you. Thank you.
I'm excited to interview him also. Yes. Thank you.
One love.